But this home is called one of the most haunted homes in Ireland. And honestly, I can see why. Hey guys, welcome back. If you are new here, hi, my name is Shayna. And in my little corner of the internet, we talk about spooky history of all kinds. If that sounds like something you're interested in, be sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell because I am here for you on Wednesdays. I also have a podcast called Spooky History with Shayna Blake, and that is where the audio of this video will be. So if that's more your thing, I'll be sure to have a link down in the description for you. I'm sorry with the new setup. My mom and I are doing a series once a month. That meant that I needed to get new microphones because the one I tried to get 2 of them and they hooked directly into my computer so I could record. Well, that didn't work. I didn't have the right software or the right equipment. So I went and got us some new mics. This one's one of them. Got a little system over here and my computer to help me record. So she's all excited about it. I'm all excited about it. I hope you guys enjoy the video. I don't know if it's going to come out before or after this one. So I had to change everything up. I had to move my desk around, I had to move my background. I don't even know if I'm going to keep this background because I'm really close to it. Also, my lighting is all kind of funny. It's just not how I want it yet. So we'll figure it out and we'll get there. Now, recently, my mom and I have been watching this show on Discovery Plus, and it's called Legendary Locations. And it's another show that Josh Gates hosts, one of many. He talks about different countries of where he's been and talks about some very interesting locations. And in one of these episodes, he talks about Loftus Hall in Ireland, and I thought it was such an interesting story and location that I wanted to share it with you all and see what you guys thought. So let's get into it. Now, before Loftus Hall was even built, the land it now sits on is known to be a site of paranormal activity. Legend states that long before this beautiful home was even thought of, the land was a spiritually significant location for the Druids of the area. And the Druids were people of a high-ranking class in ancient Celtic cultures. They were religious leaders as well as legal authorities, lore keepers, medical professionals, and political advisors. And Wexford, the location where the home is now, was filled with tombs and standing stones for thousands of years. They revered the land as sacred. Location at Hookhead, New Ross in Wexford, Ireland. The first building would be constructed around the year 1200. This home was built by Raymond Le Gros and was originally called the Hall at Houseland. However, this home did not last because in 1350 the Black Plague was at its height. And unfortunately, the Le Gros family would end up tearing down the old hall and replace it with a new one a little further down the peninsula to help stay away from the plague that was spreading. I mean, wouldn't that be nice? If something like a plague was going on and you were rich enough to just tear down your home and build a new one farther away to stay away from people? Honestly, kind of sounds like too much work, but still be nice. Now, this new building would be called Redmond Hall or simply the Hall. Then after centuries have passed, the home eventually transformed into the now Loftus Hall. Now, this home is famous right now for something that happened while the Tottenhams were occupying it in the 1700s. It said that one night a terrible storm rolled in. A young man made his way to the Tottenhams' home, saying that he was in a shipwreck and was the only survivor. Well, they felt bad for him and let him come in so he could rest and do what he needed to do. And the family had a daughter who had not been married yet, and she was ready. She was ready to meet the man of her dreams, get out of her parents' house, and start a life. And her name was Anne. And well, Anne and the young man hit it off. They became very close with one another. The man would end up staying with them for many weeks. In fact, it said that the whole family was just infatuated with the man. One night, the family and the man decided to play a friendly game of cards. Anne happened to drop a few of her cards on the floor, and as she bent down to pick them up from under the table, she saw that the man's feet were hooves. When she screamed, the man would reveal that he was the devil in disguise. He would then prove that he was the devil by transforming into a ball of fire and blasted through the roof, leaving a giant hole behind. Now, it's said that ever since this event, the house has been experiencing strange phenomena. Some believe that the reason it's haunted is due to a continued satanic presence. Now, supposedly, this hole that was left in the roof by the devil does not stay repaired. It's said that the Tottenhams attempted to patch it immediately after the incident, but it just fell through. The family would then conduct an exorcism to drive the devil away, but as the hole persisted, his presence seemed to linger. Now, eventually, the family would give up on trying to fix the hole and would just leave it. One owner of the home said that they fully accepted the notorious hole. They simply said that the devil can come and go as he pleased. And you know what I gotta say? No, thank you. You can scurry on out of here. Well, after discovering the man's true identity, Anne would become distraught. She was essentially horrified that she fell in love with the devil himself, but was also heartbroken because she lost the love of her life. I'm sorry, honey. Move on. He was obviously playing you. Well, later it turned out that Anne was pregnant, which back then was a very big no-no to get pregnant before marriage. And because of this and her mental state just rapidly declining, the parents would end up locking Anne in her room. They wouldn't let Anne out of her room, and it's speculated that she would end up giving birth on her own and ended up dying during childbirth. Now, there are two versions on what's said to have happened to the baby. It said that the baby either died during childbirth or Anne's family murdered the baby after it was born to keep it a secret. But either way, there was a rumor said that the baby was hidden in the walls and was never properly buried. Well, during the renovation of the home in the 1870s, the owners made a gruesome discovery. They found the skeletal remains of an infant inside the walls. The baby's identity was unknown, but they speculate that the rumor of her being pregnant and the baby being put in the walls had to be true. I guess the remains were found in the tapestry room, which was where Anne was said to be locked away. But either way, this is terrible. It's obvious that this family was so embarrassed by the baby that they possibly murdered the child and didn't even want to give it a proper burial. And that is sickening to me. Now, people have come up with alternate theories of the whole incident, whether the devil really came or not. It's said that the supposed shipwrecked visitor was a man who had intended to marry Anne. It's believed that he could have asked the father for her hand in marriage, and the father turned him away because of his low status. And Anne, then allegedly never recovering from a heartbreak of a stranger's dismissal, and also finding out she was pregnant when not married, and in turn led the parents to lock her away and fabricate a devil story to save face. But I don't think we will ever know what really happened. Now, after this, the home would later stand abandoned for many years. Then the Benedictine family would own it, and then it would change owners again and would become a convent. However, many were afraid to come to the hall for mass because of the home's reputation. So then in 1983, the home would become a hotel, but the new owner would end up passing away in the home, which would once again leave it vacant. Then soon after this, Satanists allegedly would start gathering there and would hold meetings and have rituals. And those meetings supposedly would go on for years, so the locals knew to just kind of steer clear of that area. Then in 2011, the home was purchased and the new owners would refurbish it to the way it was back in the day. They would allow tours and ghost hunting investigations. And because of its famous history, the hall would attract much attention from the paranormal groups such as Ghost Adventures, Irish ghost hunters, and even filmmakers. But this home is called one of the most haunted homes in Ireland. And honestly, I can see why. I hope you guys enjoyed this story and this episode. I knew that when I first heard this story, I was like, this is super interesting. I need to share it with you guys. So if you did enjoy it, be sure to hit that like, subscribe button, and notification bell. It does help out my channel. And again, I'm really sorry if the lighting is off. Things are different. I'll get the hang of it eventually. I really hope this mic works. I mean, I hope it sounds good anyways. That's going to be it for me today, guys. I hope you have a very blessed day, and I'll see you all later. Bye.